doing it. We're going. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sayreport Jr.
It will surprise probably only 50% of people that I'm the one that usually drinks through these episodes. And yet Dale's the one that needs a minute to start every week because she usually makes herself laugh.
Yep, because I called Zack Esteban from Sweet Life of Zack Cody.
I'm right in the title there, and somehow I still end
but you're still Esteban. You don't have a twin.
I ended up as the Esteban. Is Esteban? Which one's Esteban?
He's the bellhop, so not even the same job.
So not even not the concierge from not the concierge. That's also the evil doctor from
Mr. Mosby.
Scrubs.
Mr. Mosby.
Whatever
Phil
one that plays
Lewis.
Hooch. Whatever one plays Hooch on Scrubs, because Hooch is crazy.
Phil Lewis. Yeah, no.
Sure.
No, Esteban. He's the bellhop of the.
That is actually gonna. That
hotel.
is kind of my job. Then my job is to move people's luggage and stuff. If I'm,
So.
Oh, introduction.
Oh yeah, we're.
Introduction.
Forgot that we started recording. Now we're actually recording. Hey everybody. I'm Dayle.
And I'm Zack.
Yeah. I don't know. We've been doing this for almost over 50 episodes.
I'm sorry. What have we been doing for more than 50 episodes?
Doing this.
Doing this what?
This podcast.
Titled
Sayreport Jr.
Thank you. First time the name has been said.
No.
No.
I said Sayreport Jr.
I don't. Did you? Was I?
Yeah,
Was
I
I
was
trying
laughing.
to interrupt you that I missed it?
I was laughing.
Oh, see, I was I didn't think we said it at all. So I'm like, say the name of the show. Say the name of the show.
Yeah, you really had to get it out of me. And then I was gonna say, usually I drink coffee through these. Sometimes I drink alcoholic beverages, but usually coffee, and it makes me wacky doodle. Anyway,
wacky doodle dandy. So these episodes after the hot topics, I think, are pretty obvious that we have not recorded for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
To get back into the groove, usually.
Yes, I was on vacation for a week. That is.
And I was starting a new job. How does that work? How is it you go on vacation and I have to start working 40 hours a week again?
It's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. Yeah, so we haven't talked in person or we haven't voices audibly.
No, because we have not played games either.
Yeah,
we haven't played anything since you did that.
No, so we haven't audibly talked to each other in almost a week, 2 weeks. I don't even remember when the last time we recorded was.
And I had to hear from you. I was getting pictures from you of sandy beaches and boat drinks.
Yep. You didn't get any pictures of me drunk, though. Or did you? I don't.
No.
You didn't?
Wait, right. You didn't, right? No, I did not.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Because there's some doozies that I'll send you now, because I am of sound mind. There's some doozy drunk Dayle pictures. Because I went to Bermuda, everybody, and it was great. And I love Bermuda. Too bad it's too expensive to live there.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's great. I learned on the cruise that vodka is not my drink. I mean, maybe
You sound like half the people I went to college with.
Okay, but here's
that would come back from parties and pass out on couches, and the only words that would come out of their mouths would be, "No more vodka."
Well, it's just I would, if it is between a bourbon or whiskey or rum, if those three are up against a vodka drink, those three are going first.
Oh yeah,
and
so
especially rum.
You like the dark liquors.
Oh yeah.
See, I also don't like vodka. I'm a gin person, but I like the lighter stuff.
Yeah.
But what's funny is that actually, especially when I went to go get my bartending license, I had offhandedly mentioned I don't like vodka and that it always tastes like hand sanitizer to me.
Mm-hmm.
To me, vodka tastes like just rubbing alcohol.
Yes. To
which I was heartily slammed for, because I was drinking the cheap stuff, and it was yeah, that's probably true because I don't pay for expensive liquor. It just doesn't happen.
No.
That being said, a $20 bottle of gin still tastes to me better than a $20 bottle of vodka. And to which I then finally had some Tito's, which is the big brand right now. There's
Yeah.
signs everywhere all over Providence. It's the big club drink. It's also, by the way, cheaper than they'll ever actually sell it to you for.
Hmm.
It's the drinks with Tito's in them tend to be more expensive because Tito's is advertising everywhere, and so everybody in Providence wants Tito's. Those bottles are like 15, $20 a pop at the most.
Wow.
Don't ever, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are not, that is not an expensive bottle of vodka you're drinking out of. A bottle
Oh,
of Grey Goose still costs more.
I'm so
But
happy
I've
you're a
had
bartender
Tito's.
now.
Yeah, I had Tito's, and Tito's tastes like rubbing alcohol to me
Oh
still.
God.
So,
Yeah, no.
like,
It's just like if I'm gonna drink vodka, I'm going to have a shot or two and then continue drinking my drink. And that's just how it is. That's how it's gonna be. I mean, if the thing was is that the drinks I was trying with vodka in them were basically just vodka and then like
a little bit of
maybe
coloring.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm like, no. So it has to be masked. It definitely is one of those ones that has to be masked and like in a pretty cocktail. But no, other than that, no. It's usually gonna be rum or bourbon. And I said this to Devin when we came home. I was like, yeah, vodka. No, rum. I've always known that I love rum, but like it was clinched for me on the trip. And he said, yeah, 'cause you're a pirate. So that makes sense.
I also assume that I'm just gonna guess. Do you spiced rum over silver rum? Just guessing.
I mean, I don't pay attention that much.
I mean, the clear
like,
one versus the dark one. Like, I'm
No,
assuming
I could do either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Interesting. I don't get that much different between the two anyway, but
There's a
I just find it funny.
There's a brewery, it's Newport Storm. They do rum tastings too. And it's basically like you taste the rum in the three like steps of distilling and whatnot. And my God, I was in heaven because it was like there was like an 18 proof one or something. There was like really high proof one, and then like one that had been sitting in bourbon barrels, and one that it was so good. It was
That makes it sound. We should check out. I should see if they're still doing them. There's a place on the east side of Providence. Hey, everybody, this is Zack and Dayle, just kind of chatting it up for a little bit. Just talk amongst yourselves. We'll get around to it.
We'll get to like how we've actually been doing.
There's a place on the east side of Providence called Wara Wara.
Okay.
It's like a Asian restaurant. They've got stuff from like all over Asia, which is why I was like, I don't know if it's specifically Thai, but I want to say that there's a mix of things. But more importantly, there's good drinks, and they had at least a month or so ago a flight of bourbon samples, and it was not expensive as much. It was like it was something that you would think would be $20 or $30, and I don't think it was even 20.
Wow.
Of like four or five bourbon samples.
All right.
That were like all of which were very good.
Yes.
So
we're
gonna have to check that out one day.
Oh yeah.
And everybody also should. I like the Thai. I think it's Taiwanese popcorn chicken. I think it's Taiwanese. Something
Okay.
popcorn chicken. Thai or Taiwanese. One of those two. That's just comes on a. It's funny because like the only utensils they'll get. I mean, I'm sure you could ask for others, but they'll give you chopsticks to standard, and so the popcorn chicken comes on one of those like we're handing you the thing on a cutting board with the handle.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thing, but it's in like a popcorn box, like the red and white like fries or popcorn box, and then there's like some dipping sauces on the side.
That's amazing.
It's
yeah,
very
we need
good
to go
presentation.
here. We need to go there because all of this sounds fantastic to me.
That's free advertising for the place I like to go drink. Anyway.
Oh man, but yeah, so that's it. I mean, I drank a lot, and yeah, it was good. It was good. I also started some Pokemon things.
Oh, that's right, you did.
I did.
Did you give up on the shiny hunt? Is that how this other one started?
So, the shiny hunt, Meowth never showed up, everybody. And that was sad for Dayle. But the reason I stopped doing the shiny hunt was this is so stupid. Okay.
I mean,
so I don't know if I've mentioned it. I had to have. Skylanders, the video game, is one of my favorite, like,
I can't
series
remember
of
if we've
games.
we have to have mentioned it on the show. You've definitely mentioned it in real life because
Yes.
my general reaction to that is always, oh, the Spyro game, because I know it makes you mad.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly, yeah. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I got Skylanders Imaginators for the Switch, which I also have it on PS4, but I got it on the Switch because I'm like, this is great. I can bring my Skylanders wherever I want. So to gear up for the cruise, I have a lot of Skylanders, most of which I either got for free or at a very discounted price. Because it was like Skylanders were so big and then they just died. But I was like, yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
still
pretty
gonna
much
buy
like
into this though.
it's interesting because they definitely carried the Wii U for a little while. Like
Yeah.
they just they carried the Wii U on their backs
Yep.
for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
like as soon as the Switch came out, all of a sudden Skylanders was like, oh God, we can't hide the fact that we're us anymore.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's been like when you see, if and when you ever see the amount of Skylanders I have, which I'm sure you will, you would be like, yeah, this makes sense. This just makes sense that Dayle would have this amount of Skylanders. It's kind of ridiculous. But so the Switch version, you scan your Skylander and then you basically just go to a menu, and instead of taking them off the portal, which is usually how you do it, you just like can choose whatever Skylander you want to go to. So to gear up for the cruise, I went through and scanned all my Skylanders, which I needed to suspend and leave Let's Go Eevee, so I stopped my shiny hunt.
I have the best image in my head of you just like sitting on a floor surrounded by tiny little things with a bottle of rum and the Switch. And it's just like the worst time of like checking somebody out, just like swigging rum and boop boop boop.
So you're not like completely off. There was no rum, unfortunately, but it was like the day of us leaving. It was on Friday, so we left on Friday. 2 weeks ago. Wait, no, yeah, 2 weeks ago. Right? Is that how? Yeah. So 2 Fridays ago.
Time.
Yeah, time. Whatever. 2 Fridays ago, we left for the cruise. That is when I decided to do this. So I sat at the dining room table, had all of my Skylanders in front of me, and was just like, all right, 1. Got to do like 5 seconds. So each switch out is probably like 5 seconds to maybe like.
Oh, right, and there's like a time on the thing,
minutes.
right?
Yeah, 5 to 10 seconds. Yeah, it's crazy. So I went through all of these Skylanders, probably scanned in like, I don't know, like 35?
Oh, I was wondering what number was going to come out of your mouth.
35, maybe more, maybe less. Went through them and was like, cool, awesome, I'm ready to go. Put them all away. I was going to let Devin scan some. And then I realized that in order to make the game remember that they're in the game, you have to scan them twice. And Dayle did not do this.
Why? Skylanders?
I don't
Why
know.
you do that? Hey, Skylanders? Hey, Skylanders. We should talk.
Yeah, just
Why
call
you
them
do
up.
this?
Just call them up. I think
Why you do this thing?
call up Toys for Bob and have a conversation with them. God, I was so upset because I'm like,
This
I just
is the most Nickelodeon-ass episode of your sitcom ever. That is a Drake and Josh episode. I could picture Josh doing that. Like, I'm going to go meet Oprah. Let me scan all of my Oprah pictures into this thing. Oh, no, I didn't properly scan my Oprah pictures. And then I hit Oprah with my car.
again for a
One of those
second
things
time.
actually happened. Yes, exactly.
It's a callback episode, you see. Yeah, no. So that happened. So I just like sat there, and I was like, shit. And Devin was like, what? I'm like, I have to scan them twice. He's like, you're not doing that. We're not doing that again. I'm like, I know, but god damn it. So yeah, so that's why I had to suspend the shiny hunt for like one of the lamest things, but whatever. I'm just sad I couldn't play as my Drobot. He's a dragon robot.
That's what they call it, a drobot.
Okay, so one of the characters, his name is Drobot. He is one of my favorite Skylanders. He was picked on. They have backstories.
Of course they do.
This is not what I
flavor
expected
text.
this episode
You need to have
be.
flavor text.
So, if I'm remembering it correctly, he was kind of picked on because he was like a little nerd dragon. So he was picked on, and he couldn't really fly, so he made himself bionicle wings to help him fly.
God, I wish there was a world in which you literally meant he picked apart a bunch of Bionicle sets and made himself wings.
That would have been great. It's a crossover? Oh my god. Yeah, no, so he, like, made himself mechanical wings, bionicle, whatever. And, like, he also has a little helmet. What?
Connects?
Connects?
K''NEX?
Oh my god. Yeah, he used connects.
Yeah.
He also has, like, a little helmet thing, so he shoots lasers. So, like, the way I tell the story is he was picked on, made himself a robot, and then killed all the people who picked on him.
Wow. That was dark.
That's how I tell. Dude, some of the backstories are really, really dark. Like, there's another character called Sonic Boom, where she...
and that's just tragic because it's named after Sonic Boom. Let's be clear.
Oh. No.
Don't give me that opening. You cannot give me that opening.
No, I can't. Not in the world that we live in now with Sonic. No, so she has, like, babies, right? She's a bird. She has baby birds, and the baby birds got cursed or something, so they are constantly hatching and then dying.
What a horrific existence! Why did you let me make that Sonic Boom joke? That's terrible. I can't believe I just made fun of that. Oh my god.
I can't believe, like, that's what a children's video game has as a character.
The worst part is that Pokemon should have prepared me for this.
Yeah, oh yeah. Pokemon definitely should have prepared you for this because you want to know Danny Phantom's backstory? I'm sorry, I needed to make the Danny Phantom joke. But I didn't know Phantoms were apparently possessed tree stumps of dead children.
Like, that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
But yeah, and like the stories of the Skylanders, I probably put a darker twist to them because I can read subtext. Like, children, they're just like, oh, they're magical eggs. Her babies are always going to be babies. Dayle reads them like, these babies are living in a world of hell. So yeah. Pokemon? I was going to talk about Pokemon and I got on Skylanders.
I know. So then you did something else with Pokemon because you gave up on the shiny hunt.
Yes.
Because apparently you fried your brain with the worst myths available to children.
Yes, exactly. So I started 2 Pokemon things on the trip. The first Pokemon thing I started was Detective Pikachu.
The video game?
The video game.
Ooh! This is actually new to me.
Have you... Oh, yeah, no.
No, you just never told me
save
this.
It. I wanted to save it for this.
This is my excited noise. Ooh.
Have you played it or no?
No, I have no idea
Zack.
what that game consists of.
Oh, Zack is weird. It is fucking weird.
The Pokemon side games are always weird. Any Pokemon game that is not a like mainline RPG is just like buck wild, and I love it.
It's insane. It's so far I've only gotten to chapter 2. But it is the weirdest, like, the things Pikachu says, because he talks to you, so it's like the first Pokemon game that you really need audio for, for me at least.
Are you listening? Is it in English or are you listening in Japanese?
It's in English.
I just picture ever listen to an anime in like Japanese after watching it in English for a really long time? Mm-hmm. And like everybody's voice is 1,000 times like deeper and more mature and like way more like they're taking this way more seriously than the American voice actors were.
Exactly. So Pikachu's voice in the video game is how do I scary? Not like he just sounds angry all the time. But he's also, like, it's very clearly an, like older dude. Like, we have Ryan Reynolds' voice, right? We have Ryan Reynolds' voice in our head. And then you have it with, like, this deeper, like, gruff voice coming out of the same Pokemon. And it's
I feel it in my jellies.
It's, that's pretty much the voice, Zach. He's like, I'm not even kidding. That's pretty much the voice.
I want to hear that voice sadly sing the Pokemon theme song. I want to be.
Yes.
I can't do sad in that voice.
Oh. Yeah, because it's already sad.
Like Batman voice.
It's like a Batman voice, but like slightly higher pitch, but still.
Swear to me, Pikachu.
I don't know. It's so weird.
Pika.
Swear to me.
Yeah, Pika.
Oh
Anyway.
God. No. So there are these. My favorite part of this game is there are times where you have to talk to Pikachu, right? Like first of all, it explains stuff hilariously. So it's like, hey, sometimes I can't talk to people, so you need to talk to them for me, and here's how I'm gonna get your attention for when I want you to talk to me. And then he proceeds to jump up and down, waving his arms.
So, like any 10-year-old child wants to get your attention.
Yes, exactly. He starts jumping up and down,
Look at me.
waving his arms, and goes, Tim! Hey, Tim! Tim! Tim, over here, Tim! Until you tap on his little picture at the bottom of the screen. And then sometimes, when he wants to talk to you, it helps nothing. Like, it's literally just the game was like, yeah, we're just gonna have some more Pokemon time. I mean, some more Pikachu time. Like, there was one time where I was standing near a trash can, and it was like, talk to Pikachu, and I had just gotten some information on the case, so I'm like, cool, we're gonna have like a dialogue. Nope, Pikachu climbed up into the trash can to look into it, and then fell inside the trash can. I was just like,
so he's a bumbling fool, but with the voice of like what I imagine Roland Deschain's voice is.
Yes, exactly. And then there's another one where you're in a cave and you're like talking to Drifloons and like Litwicks and stuff.
Oh, I think Drifloons are super sad too.
They really are.
Pretty certain they're dragging souls into heaven through balloon power or some crap.
That's exactly what they do, I think. And there's one where he's jumping up and down. So I'm like, God damn it, Pikachu, what do you want? So I click on him, and then a Drifloon comes by, picks him up by the ear, takes him off the screen, and then just drops him.
We wanted you to see this cute thing we did. That had nothing to do with the story, but we wanted you to see it.
And he just falls down, and he's just like old man grunts, like, ugh, ugh, ugh. And like gets up. I'm like, what is going on?
I need to watch a Let's Play of this right now. I need to experience this.
It is so weird. And like the things he says, so sometimes you can just tap, like even if he's not talking to you, you can just tap on his picture in the bottom, and he'll just be like, as a detectives, they gotta keep their stamina, so I do aerobics or something like that. And then he starts doing aerobics, and then he's like, there's another one where he just has a magnifying glass, don't know where it came from, he just has it, and he goes, a detective's gotta make sure his equipment's always in tip-top shape. And then he like blows on the magnifying glass and cleans it with his arm.
Oh my God.
What is happening? And then, oh my God. And they're just like in Detective Pikachu, like the movie, there's all of these like pokes and prods whenever Tim talks to a girl. So Pikachu is like, you gonna do something?
Sounds immensely worse coming out of this like gruff little thing.
And like, oh my God, it's so weird. It's so weird. Like, you just need to play it. You just need to play it.
It sounds like I need to play it, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, no, I'm currently borrowing Joe's 2DS to play it, but I might just buy the game. and like
Oh
play it
God.
on my own time
I think it's like
because
$40. Kind of sounds like it's worth it.
yeah, because it's just hilarious, and oh my god. But like there are moments, but the weird thing is that it's so funny and yet so boring at the same time. Because, like, you just have to keep walking back and forth and walking back and forth between two screens and clicking on things and
Oh,
then going and drawing stuff and, like, moving pictures to places. I'm like, oh my god.
tried to make a Pokemon adventure game. That's
Yeah.
not how that works.
Oh, yeah, no. It's so much fun, though. It's just really, really weird. Yeah, so that was Detective Pikachu. Everybody should play that. And then this is the thing that
I love
Zack
how
knew
it sounds
about.
like you went on vacation and just did way more things than I did. Which way, that makes sense. That's what vacation's for. What am I talking
I
about?
mean, yeah, that's.
Wait a
I
second. I
mean,
realized what I was saying as I was saying
I'm
it.
gonna tell you something. It sounds like I did a lot. This was just like my days. These, I would wake up, get breakfast, drink, maybe take a nap, and then play
I was
Pokemon.
gonna say, drink your way through all the rum and vodka in the Caribbean, and then just
Yep,
kick back with Detective
yep.
Pikachu for a little bit.
Sometimes I would go to the spa, and then sleep, and then eat, and that was it. It was pretty fun. Sometimes I played cards, but yeah, no, it's crazy. That's what vacation is for, exactly. Um, but I started a Nuzlocke of Let's Go Eevee.
Which I cannot believe. Like, the thing that makes me am trying to grasp with the Let's Go of that specifically
Yeah.
is that if the rule is that it's the first wild Pokemon you run into, you can kind of cheat in Let's Go.
Okay, so
So,
yes, but so that's what. So I did when I was sick like a while ago. I was watching someone do a Let's Go, Nuzlocke, I believe, and the way they pretty much chose. So they would let some pop up, and then they were basically like, yes, okay, so that's the one I'm gonna choose. The way I am playing it is and the other thing with Nuzlocke and Let's Go is like training your Pokemon and grinding and doing all that. So I have like I have ways around both that make it actually really fun and very strategical. It is I just stand in grass and whatever walks into me is my encounter. So
okay.
yeah. So it's similar to how you would do it in, just
In
another
right.
one. You're just running around in the grass. Whereas I literally just stand and hope that certain ones walk into me and then I get a Rattata. But, that's fine. No, I like Rattata.
I mean, it sounds like every Nuzlocke I've ever heard. Hey, I got something new. Nope,
Yeah.
it's a Rattata.
Yeah. No. I'm actually really happy with my Rattata. His name is Cheddar.
Of course it is.
That's Tinkerbell's mouse friend.
Oh my
Anyway.
God.
Uh, don't oh my
Jerry,
god me.
name it Jerry.
You should expect this by now. That I'm gonna name stuff after Tinkerbell characters. Um but yeah, so I just let the Pokemon walk up to me and then that's my encounter. So I was kind of wrestling with the idea of keeping the Eevee on my team or not, but I'm going to just because why not?
I'm just amazed it's even a question for you, to be honest.
Yeah, well, because that's why it was difficult. Because I'm like, it's easily going to be the strongest one. I don't need to have it on my team, and I could get a 6th Pokemon and then reap the benefits of having that Eevee. But I'm like, that feels like it's cheating. Because then I technically have 7 Pokemon. So no, I'm just going to keep it as my starter and then get 5
Yeah,
additional
okay, I see what you mean
Pokemon.
now.
Yeah, you know what I
For
mean?
a second, I was confused. I was like, oh yeah, your Eevee does other stuff besides
Yeah.
fight things when
Yep.
it's not on your team.
Yep. So it's crazy. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll just keep it. The way that I have been leveling up is I only catch Pokemon that I've already caught. And then I do combos of them. And that's how I level up. And it's actually way easier than it sounds. So
Cool.
like I got a Pidgey. Pidgey died against the battle with the rival. So I was like, well, bye. So now I've only really been catching Pidgeys.
The rival or Gary? Because they're two different things now, and it's confusing.
My rival / friend.
Okay.
Yeah. So it died against the very first,
Wah.
thing, because I was dumb, and I was just like, yeah, it could take it. It could take his Pikachu. And then it couldn't.
I'm sorry.
And Captain Slash died that day.
You did. Okay. In
I
his
did what?
defense,
I did what?
you did put a bird up against Pikachu, literally.
But it's a bird against a mouse. Birds
But-
kill mice.
Yeah, but electricity kills flying, and in Pokemon, that's what matters. It's
Yeah,
that rock.
But
What matters is that paper covers rock. It doesn't matter that a rock could probably completely destroy a piece of paper. It doesn't.
But, Zach, I was thinking about leveling up. I was not thinking about type matchups. So I've just been catching Pidgey, and then what's on my team? I have a Nidoran female, a female Nidoran, a Rattata, a Ekans, a Bulbasaur because I caught a Bulbasaur. It walked into me and it chose me, and I was very happy.
I cannot believe how often you find those and how long I took to
Trying
get
find
those
them.
starters. Especially because I wanted 9 of them,
Yeah.
so I would have one of each type,
Mhm.
one of each level. And you're just like, yeah, sometimes I just run into them randomly.
The best was when you were over here watching me shiny hunt and just a shit ton of
Just
Squirtles.
Squirtle just kept popping up. And I was like, what the hell?
What is my 5th Pokemon? I don't remember what my 5th Pokemon is. Oh, Zubat.
Oh, well, that's why you forgot it.
Yeah.
I guess
Aw.
it's Zubat.
I named it Oracle.
It's like that's a weird sideways Batman reference
Yep.
that you weren't even trying to do.
Oh, no, it was. I was trying to do it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do. Thanks for doubting my abilities, Zach.
I kind of didn't know if you knew Oracle and Batman that well.
Fair enough. But yeah, so that's how my Nuzlocke has been going, and I mean, hasn't really been going. I just started, and just got to Mount Moon. But yeah,
Killed one.
huh?
Nothing. Just
What
so
did you-
sad for that Pidgey that you put up against a Pikachu.
Yeah, well, I wasn't thinking. I wasn't prepared for a battle. I was not prepared, and Captain Slash took the brunt of it, and I feel bad every day. God. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But those are my rules for the Nuzlocke are the Pokemon runs into me, and the only Pokemon I will catch to train are the ones that I've already caught. That way I don't add any other Pokemon to my Pokedex. I don't want to catch them and then not use them. It's just easier to catch 100 Pidgeys and then just transfer them to the professor.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just keep my box my Pokemon box very nice and neat. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much how I'm doing it.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's possible.
Someday I'll go back to the Nuzlocke I was doing and recording one day when I feel like sitting down and figuring out the audio issues that stopped me before. But
I don't
but
know.
not today.
Not today. Yeah, so that's been my thing.
Cool.
A lot of Pokemon.
I've been working
Yes.
because I'm back to working like a full-time person and I hate it.
Welcome to the world again,
I
Zach.
didn't realize after 4 months that my body would not respond to work as poorly as it did
Yeah.
because I am
Exhausted.
shuttling people at a hotel now back and forth to the airport, which on a busy day it's just back and forth a few times and the day goes by quick and it's okay. And then there's also days, I say this, I've only worked 2 days, but the 2 days have been wildly different because then
That's
other
good.
days
I mean,
I go back and forth all of 4 times across 8 hours, and I spend the rest of the 8 hours standing in the lobby, staring out the window, waiting for someone to need the shuttle.
no,
and I
I
watch
have an image of,
HGTV
in
all
my
day.
head.
And I watch HGTV all day.
Oh.
It's not freeform here. It's
Oh.
HGTV. I've watched many expensive houses get built.
And then
and I
it's
get
sold.
it, and then people talking about, oh, we've only got $600,000 to pay for things. Oh, you think this is going to cost $100,000? That seems like a lot. I know we said we have infinite money, but $100,000 seems like a lot for this patio. Do it anyway.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
It's like it's not gonna look good without it. I've
uh,
seen those, like when we go to when like at the nail salon, the
Supply.
nail salon, for pedicures and stuff. That's all they have on is like Property Brothers and like Flip or Flop and
Right. And it's like
um
it's because it's easy TV, right? It's the
yeah,
same reason we have
yeah,
Freeform on at the movie theater is
exactly.
because you know you're not going to put on something like massively offensive by accident.
Mhm.
And I love it because like in the hotel setting, it's
Oh
perfect
God.
because it's like, oh, this is what I would throw on in the back room of a hotel in the background of
Yes.
a hotel room because I don't feel like trying to figure out your channels
Exactly.
for the 2 days that I'm in town.
And like maybe you'll get some tips. The Property Brothers, they
Maybe
got
I'll
they
see,
got tips.
at least if I'm watching Food Channel, I see 8 different shows with Guy Fieri. It's not the same one 8 times over. But
It could be Zack.
I mean, the thing is sometimes I can't tell because he
Exactly.
does things like names his shows Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and also Guy's Grocery Games, and I don't know which of the triple D's or G's I'm watching anymore.
Oh my God. I didn't even know he had another
Oh
show.
yeah, Guy's Grocery Games is like he took over the whole concept of supermarket sweep, but they
Holy
made it into
crap.
a it's not just supermarket sweep, it's supermarket sweep if you then had to cook the things you bought.
Oh my God.
And so he sends people running through a grocery store to find the ingredients for the thing that they said. So it's like you have to basically go shopping in 15 minutes. It's not just a pantry that should have everything you need. It's an entire grocery store that you have to have memorized
Oh my
when you go
God.
running around it. And what I love is things like, oh, we want you to make a spicy dish with ginger in it. So it's going to have ginger. We don't
Yeah.
care about anything else in that dish.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, great. So everybody goes and runs into each other grabbing
Yeah,
ginger,
the
and then they
ginger.
just go in wildly different directions trying to figure out what they're going to cook. I actually like this show, by the way. This is the
The basis of the story, new
this is-
favorite show.
yes. Thus, welcome to my TED Talk. Guy Fieri makes good TV. Uh,
Going down to Flavor Town.
man, he's gonna have his own channel one day, and it will be called Flavor Town.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean that's really like that's what it's. So technically, I am part of the utilities staff,
Mm.
which means that I'm also like they gave me the tools to fix a a like the key card lock on the
Mhm.
doors if the
Oh.
battery dies in them. Because surprise, they run out of battery apparently that has to be changed sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
They're just not. They're
I
not
never,
magic.
I
They're
know,
not
but I never really
magic.
thought about the concept. Here's the thing, this is now my fourth. I'm doing my third and fourth jobs at the same time, working for like larger companies,
Mhm.
and I think they get by on, especially on the customer facing side of things, they get by on looking like everything is running like clockwork and perfectly, and they don't. They're like just you go in, you do your thing, and you leave.
Yep.
And then the background of that is it's like everything is being held together by gum and duct tape and twine,
Yeah.
like billion-dollar companies, and everybody is just fucking winging it day to day.
Yep.
And I love it.
Yep.
I love it so much.
That's
I never
great.
thought about the concept of the fucking key card on my hotel door working. It just works when I use it, so I never think about it.
See,
It's like, oh, sometimes a guy has to go up there with a little scanner and a USB plug and a battery that looks like it goes in your home in like your home cordless phone, and he has to pop everything off the door and plug that in and pop it back together.
yep. See, that's like the stuff that I always was curious about, and probably led, me being in a technical field of of fixing stuff.
But like
Like,
for me, it's not like hard thought technical stuff.
yeah,
I
no,
also
but
like I
it's still
spend
fun.
80% of my day. It's so great because I spend 80% of my day just standing in that lobby waiting for someone to be like, "Hey, I need a shuttle." And then sometimes I walk around the hotel checking stuff out to see if anybody needs help, quote unquote. But really, I'm just wandering the halls of a hotel for most of the day,
Trying to find that.
like a ghost in The
I
Shining.
was just gonna say. I was gonna say trying to find a cold corner.
which
to
makes me think
find
that
a poltergeist.
which makes me think that since the second person, since this is my second day working here, most of the people who have no idea who I am probably do think I'm a ghost of some kind. Just some dude just like wandering through the hall they've never seen, wearing a name tag and carrying the keys to their van downstairs. It's
Like,
like, oh, there's something shady going on there.
they're like, oh, he's new. Wonder when he, wonder
We
when
get
he
flight crews that
shows
come.
up.
We get flight crews that come in and like have the night, and then they have to leave in the morning.
Yeah.
So we just kind of let them in the building. And so like earlier today, they were like, there's like a weird tunnel that goes from the hotel, from the airport through their parking garage to
Mhm.
our hotel.
Oh wow.
Which I've not seen the actual tunnel yet. I've not been. I've seen the two ends of the tunnel. I've not been in the tunnel itself. I imagine it's terrifying, um, but
Or awesome.
or awesome. Mostly terrifying. It's probably like that tunnel from Willy Wonka. There's probably Gene
Oh
Wilder just
god.
screaming at you the whole time while you're
Oh
trying to get
my.
through. But I was like, I happened to be doing a quote unquote sweep of the parking lot to pick up trash. As in, I was bored, so I took 5 minutes to wander the parking lot.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
10:50 an hour. It's fine.
Hey, it's fun. It's good. That's what you have to do in jobs like that. You just need to keep busy.
I know. It's like as long as it looks like I'm doing something, I don't have to be doing anything.
Yeah.
Sometimes I carry a clipboard.
Ooh, that makes you
But
look
I
official.
come around the corner and I see this flight crew come out of the tunnel and they're going toward the side door to the hotel. So, and usually they have to like ring the bell that's there because they don't have keys yet. They haven't gotten keys to go in. It's like, oh, I'll help you guys out. I get out my little thing. I open the door for them, let them in, follow them in the door. And as I'm walking in, I'm like, I could have just been Danny Ocean so hard to not even thought about it. These
Yeah.
people might not even be a flight crew. The real flight crew is back there in the tunnel, knocked out. These people just
That's-
walked in.
That crosses my mind a lot. Let me tell you. That used to cross my mind a lot at like GameStop and at Cracker Barrel. And I'm like, this person could not be who they are. Let's hope they are though.
What happens if this guy in the security uniform comes in and isn't from security? What do I do? Paul Blart didn't teach me what to do in this situation.
Oh my god. I don't have a segue. I can't follow it.
Oh, I was like, why? Do we have to change topics? But
No. Oh.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
so,
Oh,
so very quickly, my two favorite things that have been, like, very quickly, the two favorite things that have been coming up. I don't mean very quickly as in I'm going to get through my point quickly. I mean, in 2 days, I've decided these are my two favorite things quickly.
That's fine.
Are, I love driving those flight crews around because, like, I picked one up for the airport, and as I'm driving them back, I got to listen to one of the stewardesses just complain the whole time that there was one of the Patriots was on the plane, and she just didn't realize it till afterwards, so she couldn't get a picture, and she couldn't get over it. And then they went out to dinner, and I drove them to some bar out in Warwick, and the whole time she's still like, oh man, I cannot believe I did that. I'm so mad at myself.
Wait, hold on. You also drive them to like bars?
Anywhere within a 3-mile radius of the hotel, I can drive people
Really?
for like dinner and stuff. Yeah, so I took them out to one of
crazy.
the. Yeah, but it was just so funny that like 4 hours later, after they had gotten off that plane, she still was like, "Oh man, I'm still mad at myself."
Oh.
And then like the next day on driving these four guys, I think all four of them were stewards. I don't think any of them was a pilot. And all they talked about was how they had spent the whole like last 2 days partying and they couldn't believe they had gotten up on time.
Oh my god.
And one of their favorite things to do is when they get those trips down to like Tallahassee or one of the Florida college towns, and they have to be there for a weekend,
Yeah.
and it's so great for them to be in college town during spring break. I was like, oh, this is what you guys do all day, huh?
Is this your life?
This is what you guys talk about, the people that were on your planes and the people that were in your hotels.
Oh my
Like that. The other thing that I love is every time I come to take the entrance into the airport, the Patriots plane is very visible
Oh,
right
really?
there because it's held right at the airport. Because Boston is like too chaotic to
Yeah.
hold that airplane, and so it's there. And so inevitably, if I've got someone leaving town who is not from Rhode Island, so they did not see this when they came out of the airport,
Mhm.
as I'm driving them back, they're like, "Oh, is that the Patriots plane? Hey, what's that doing there? Well, that's weird that you guys had the Patriots plane." And like inevitably, like 15 times yesterday, it was, yes, that is in fact the real Patriots plane. No, that is not an ad. That is the plane they take to go places. Well, how close is Boston? If they could land over here, it's like an hour if there isn't traffic, but there's always traffic. So I don't,
I don't know.
I don't
Oh my god, that's so funny. I didn't know their Patriots plane was there.
That's great.
I
That's wonderful.
did not know that.
Yes, it was like a big thing that they had to take the plane away for like a month so they could paint the new picture on it,
Oh,
and
that's
everyone was like,
crazy.
"How are they going to fit another trophy on that plane? I don't understand."
Wow, yeah, no, I never knew that. That like blew my mind. I was like, we have a that's cool. Wait, I just need to like quickly let you know that anytime you this whole time that you've been sharing your hotel like shuttle stories,
Uh-huh.
the image of you in my head is the like similar image of like the best one would be a Tower of Terror employee,
the bellhop with
like
like
a bellhop,
the
like
circle hat on and the
yep,
jacket. Yeah, I
but
don't gotta
like
wear that,
but like
thankfully.
specifically like maroon and gold.
Like 1920s.
Yep.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Let me get you to your trolley.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just what Zack looks like in my head now.
It's great because it's just like that's the thing that blows my mind when I talk about how like the background of these things is never as tightly put together as you think it is. It's like got the job and then I'm like, oh, what do I wear by the way? Just like black pants, black shoes. You're gonna get your uniform or a shirt. It's like, oh yeah, we've got polos if you want them. We can order them for you, but at least wear a nice shirt and their name tag, and you'll be fine.
Well, there
I was
you
like,
go.
no uniform whatsoever. My bar has a uniform, and my hotel job does not. Okay, sure,
Oh my gosh.
sure, why not?
Tells you where the hotel industry has gone.
Well, it's like they want that. They would rather I look comfortable but professional as
Exactly.
opposed to everybody wearing the same thing. Probably because I'm in the lobby all day. I'm sure that's probably why it's like it just looks weird to have like
Yeah.
one guy in a uniform while everybody
Yeah.
else is in like nice clothes.
Makes sense.
Ugh.
Yeah, because all the concierge, yeah, all the concierge people have to be like business attire, pretty much, probably, right?
Or like like a nice sweater and nice
Yeah.
pants, or like a nice businessy looking
Yeah.
outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, every like concierge person I've ever seen is like wearing a full on suit, like and like or a dress, like a pencil skirt dress kind
Right.
of thing. And I'm like, wow, like you look professional.
This is all I do all day.
Yep.
And I make tons of money doing it.
Yep. Man,
Ugh.
that's crazy.
But yeah, that's
You're
like
gonna
been
hear
my
some-
whole. It's funny because that's been like the last 2 days, and really, it's the only thing like worth talking about the last 2 weeks. Because
Aw.
I've been replaying I don't like that. I've been replaying Borderlands, still Borderlands. I don't know how Siegen decided he was going to play through Borderlands 2, like the main story, and I was like trying to work with him and Devin to figure out a time because I was going to go to work that day.
Yeah.
And his answer was, "Oh, don't worry, just get on at like 8 or 9, and then you have work at 11. That makes sense." And I was like, "Okay." Then I thought about it, and I was like, "Siegen, are you going to start playing Borderlands 2 at 6 in the morning?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I want to get through it and still have some of the day left, so I'm just going to start early." It's like, Siegen, what are you doing playing Borderlands at 6 in the morning?
He loves Borderlands.
But I've been playing through Borderlands 1, getting ready because like that Borderlands 3 doesn't come out till September. I got time to get through the 4 Borderlands games before.
Yeah, it comes out the week before RWX, I think.
I believe so. Or the
Yeah.
week before or the week after. I can't remember.
No, I think it's the week before. Yeah, because it's the 15th, isn't it?
I think it's the 13th that it comes out. It's like whatever Tuesday of that week is or whatever. Yeah. But yeah. So like I've been playing through that, going great. Still a fun game. It's really weird to play that after playing all of the other like the 3 games that came after it, like even just Borderlands to Borderlands 2 are so different. But then also putting in like Borderlands the pre-sequel, which does a whole bunch of other stuff, and then Tales from the Borderlands, the like Telltale game, which is so good, but like that was the last Borderlands game I played. So then go back to Borderlands 1. It's like really different.
It's like, what is going on?
It's like, wow, there's really like not it, now I see when people were talking about how this game just like looks the same through the whole thing because it really does.
Oh god.
I don't know what made me realize what what got me past it the first time. I mean, I'm still getting past it. I guess that's what it is. I'm still having fun playing the game, and that's what matters. But like, yeah, there's like four big areas of Borderlands, and they all look exactly the same. It's like desert, kind of rocky desert on the coast, so there's some grass. And like, at some point
Oh
there's a
my
mountain, and
god.
I'm pretty certain it's very rocky. So
And I basically just run in a circle this whole time, going
yeah,
through all these things. I'm basically on a treadmill, and the
kind of.
scene is just changing.
And really, yeah, and because that came out at a time where like instead of it being like open world or even like it was that kind of hub world concept of
Mm,
like there's a town in an area and that's where you get your stuff to go out and do the quests and come back and collect your rewards.
yeah.
But they also made it so you could basically collect all of the quests at the same time.
Oh.
And so like it's just go to town, get like 8 things to do, and then spend the next like 10 hours doing those 8 things, and then you come back to town and you do it. And it kind of feels like you just spent all of this time out there and it's making you turn around and backtrack to town to get your rewards.
Jeez.
But
Yeah.
uh
I just love whenever I play Borderlands with Siegen. I like sounds. I know that like I know how to play video games, but for some reason when I'm playing Borderlands, I'm like one of the most incompetent people in the world.
some of that could be the way Borderlands is made sometimes. Like so I'm
Thank you,
playing Borderlands
Zack.
on
I really
P-
appreciate
because
that.
because the thing is Borderlands and Borderlands 2 were both Xbox 360 games.
Yeah.
So and I think maybe PS3.
Yeah.
But that so like and then eventually when the Handsome Collection came out and then the pre-sequel came out for like PS4 and stuff like that, those are fairly recent.
Mm.
But that means that they are like game design wise and also port wise, like just kind of bound by their stuff. So when Borderlands first came to PC, before even the Handsome Collection and a bunch of updates they just did recently, when it first came to PC, it was considered one of the worst PC ports ever
Oh God.
because things like usually when you start playing on a PC with a controller,
Mhm.
it changes their things so that when it says press the enter button, it changes to say press the start button.
Yeah.
It did not do that with Borderlands. It did
Oh.
not have any sort of controller input like icons.
Oh.
So plugging in a controller didn't change the fact that it would be like press E to collect things.
Ooh. Okay. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not
And like
fun.
the frame rate was really bad. I don't even know if it's the frame rate. There was that frame tearing. So like you would
Mm.
see that weird line going up every like few seconds.
Yep.
So finally they recently like fixed that by doing like a massive like overhaul to it, and it's like finally like it's a playable game on on um,
PC.
on PC. But now it's like yeah, but now it's a playable 10-year-old game on PC.
Jeez. Yeah. That's crazy.
So like then all of the game design stuff comes into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's really been it. Like I've been playing Borderlands and then I've been going to work. I had a
That's
friend
fun.
graduate from Brown over the weekend, so
Hey. Woohoo.
did some of my own partying.
Nice.
Some East Providence partying. It's not as fancy as not as fancy as Clearwater partying, you
Aw.
know. But
Not as fancy as Gombe's, which is the beach bar that I was at, where
Nice.
where the bartender was high off of his ass, and it was fantastic. It was amazing.
Oh God.
Oh God, it was
But
so good.
but yeah, I mean yeah, it's been a good couple weeks. It's been quiet for me as I've just been like getting back into work and stuff.
Yeah, it
But I
makes
do
sense.
love that I'm back in work, and now I'm excited because like I did take off work one of my jobs for my birthday weekend next week, and
Yeah.
then I started the new job immediately, and I was like, oh, they're not gonna give me time off the second weekend I work for them, probably.
Yeah.
That's a little weird
Are you
to
still
ask
gonna
for.
Are you still gonna try and ask or no?
No, probably not,
No.
because that's like the next schedule that comes out.
Yeah, I
So,
hear you.
but yeah,
I told
yeah,
you,
yeah.
just tie balloons or wear a button.
I could get away with it at this one
Wear
since
a
they don't have an actual
crown.
uniform.
That's
Could
true.
probably get away with that.
That's true.
um,
Oh
but
man.
more importantly is that we're coming up on a Pokemon conference video tonight.
Yeah.
And E3 comes up in a couple of weeks
Yep.
too, so we got to figure out all
gonna
of the
be
weirdness
crazy.
going on with E3, where like EA is still doing what they always do, but now they're pretending they're not part of E3 anymore,
Oh jeez.
even though they're still doing it the same 2 days they would have done their whole E3 stuff anyway. Sony's not there, but
Yeah.
They might do one of their state of play videos, but they're not doing a major conference. I don't know anymore with that.
It's like E3 is basically just going to be like, it's basically just, yep, everybody's doing their own thing.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Nintendo
we're
figured that out a long time
gonna
ago.
call it E3, but
Yeah, because here's the
nobody's
thing.
gonna be here.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
It's
For a
gonna
very long
fall apart.
time, it will eventually.
Yeah.
It will eventually fall apart. Because the problem is, like everything, the internet ruined E3.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
um,
fair enough.
so because it used to be did I explain this a year ago? Am I about to repeat? Who knows? We'll find out.
It is the sequel year, so
So
maybe.
so E3 used to be just like a game journalist and like game developers conference.
Yep, yeah,
The
we
only
talked
way,
about
the
this.
only way, yeah, the only way you got in was that. And so last year and the last couple of years, they've had we need to bring the public in, and also with the advent of like Twitch and stuff, it's become so much more about what's the like. Still, people don't see very much of what goes on the floor of E3 because it's just a madhouse.
Yeah.
But instead, what you get now is the press conferences and then all sorts of like curated special events,
Yeah.
like what EA is doing, which is like, oh, we're not going to the press floor and to the floor of E3 because really we could just spend the same amount of money or less and completely control everything you see anyway.
Yeah.
So we don't need the press to tell you what they saw, which is funny because they also still do this thing called Judges Week, which happened like a week ago, which is they bring a bunch of people that they have deemed judges, by whatever arbitrary rules they do that, to the same like hotel that they do E3 in, and they show them a whole bunch of special stuff, and they can almost talk about none of it.
Oh.
Sometimes it's stuff that will show up at E3, and then they can talk about it, and then sometimes it's stuff that will show you at E3, but the E3 demo will be different, and you can only talk about the E3 demo. And then it's, we don't even want to bring this thing to E3, but we're showing you anyway. But you're never allowed to talk about it. And if the game like completely falls apart and gets canceled, no one will ever know that you saw this thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's scary.
So basically, like Judges Week has become E3, and then the E3 at large has become the big public kind of face of E3. And now what's going on with like PlayStation, with like Sony and PlayStation and EA is like just being honest about what E3 has become. Is like, we'll just do it on our own then, because there's no point in spending the money and the time to go out there.
That's crazy.
So
it's crazy.
So we'll figure out some way of covering that this year.
Yeah.
We just figure out the schedules and like what's playing when and how.
Exactly.
Someday I'll get 20-minute Square Enix videos, and it'll all be about Kingdom Hearts 4. And the Quiet Man.
Oh man.
But yeah, I think we fell into a Skylanders hole there for a minute.
I don't know why or how. I mean, I do know why and how, but like, God, did not expect that.
Yeah, so probably next week. Actually, what is next? What is the date next week? Because it's E3 is weird. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure that out. So next week is the week before E3. Okay.
Yes, next week is next week is the Pokemon Nintendo Direct. And then
yes, E3. So I'm sure we'll have all sorts of stuff to talk about. When's the 5th? Is the 5th after
we
usually record?
Wednesday. No, because your birthday's the Friday.
Yeah, we might record late next week just to watch the Pokemon Direct.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
But yeah, we're ramping up right toward our E3 stuff then, which is like another anniversary of our big events that we do.
Yeah,
it's our Brendan Fraser History Month now as we go forward.
It's just E3 and video games.
Yeah. We'll see if I'm still alive as my schedule starts to even out and I stop passing out after working for 8 hours straight.
My computer just flashed and I got real scared. It's like a ghost. Anyways, I was gonna say you'll be drinking the coffee and I'll be drinking alcohol.
You say that. I'll be drinking the coffee liqueur.
It's fair enough.
I gotta keep some traditions going on this show. But I think that's gonna do it for this week.
Rum throughout that.
There we go.
Episode.
I think that's gonna do it for this week. Do we usually swap on the endings now, don't we? Is that what we decided? I don't know. I think I say this every time. You can follow us on Twitter at sayreportjr. You can follow us individually. I am at Zerwisky.
And I am at Dale's Brain. That's
you can find us.
I don't know if you said
this
on Twitter.
Oh, see, because I said at, and I just assumed that was bad of me. Sorry. You can find us on YouTube if you search Say Report Junior. That's Say Report JR. And you can find us on Spotify now, as well as iTunes and other RSS related podcasting things
I'm so proud
But-
of you.
that I remembered.
Yes.
Yeah. And on that note, I think we all need ice cream.
Yes.
And Liz can take it away.
Peace. How do I?
Thank you for listening to The Say Report with your hosts Dayle Decker and Zack. Please follow the guys on Twitter and Facebook by searching for The Say Report, and you can always subscribe on your podcast channel so this is delivered straight to you and you can enjoy it every week. With apologies to your mother, we'll see you next time.